We live in this converted ambulance, and one of the first questions from people who see it for the first time is,
What kind of paint is that?
to keep it brief, we use a textured truck bed liner all over the box. In the front, we got a spray paint that matches shockingly well to the stuff that we bought in the back. Here, in this neglected section, you can see what the ambulance used to look like. But we're going to go back to old clips and show the process of how we sanded, painted, and got it to look like what it does today.
One of the things that we didn't realize would be such a huge challenge when converting the outside of the ambulance is the methods for removing all of the old paint and old decals that made this vehicle an ambulance.
Yeah, that's not really working so well.
So we tried everything from hand sanders to palm sanders to a belt sander to a sandblast sander, whatever you call that. Some stickers came off really well with the steamer, while others we had to straight up just belt sand them because it was just not coming off.
The only one that we have left is this sticker, which we thought was pretty witty because we are not qualified to handle any disasters.
If you're planning to do this, biggest thing I would tell you to keep in mind is that it's probably going to take you way longer than you think it will to get the outside of your vehicle together, because we spent days upon days upon days just prepping the outside so that it was paint ready. So just something to keep in mind. The only part remaining of the original ambulance colors is this white front box area. And we specifically followed this line because the decal stickers on the ambulance were really hard to remove right along this line. So instead of trying to make it look perfect, we decided to just be practical and follow the line along with our paint. And I think it looks sick.
When we first bought the ambulance, it had all the lights, the bells, the whistles. We had to take all that stuff out. And we replaced it with these, which are actually made out of old pieces of stop sign that we had laying around for some reason. As you can see here, we actually used it to equip some external lights, which illuminate the outside of the ambulance. We had to remove the emergency light bar in the front here as well.
Man, they make this to last, don't they?
And we're still not too sure what to do with that space. Use it for storage, put another light there. If you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments.
When we did the first coat of the ambulance, we were silly and started it kind of later in the day. So by the time we finished the first coat, it was nighttime and it was very hard to see what we were doing, but we were just trekking along. Until the next day, we realized how awful the paintwork looked. You could see every bit of streak that we messed up and all the different patterns on it. And that's specifically because this paint requires a sponge-like roller, and if you are not very careful with how you apply it, it will look terrible. So we basically had to wait for it to dry and try again. And thankfully, it looked really good the second time. I actually kind of like how it's not perfectly even everywhere. It kind of has a texture to it when you look at it up close. And I think it adds to the organic feel of the outside of the ambulance. I will say it was very pricey compared to a regular can of paint. And it was a very interesting mix because when you get it, it's a mix of solids and liquids. And if you look at the texture, you'll know exactly what I mean. It almost has like a rocky feel to it. So you want to make sure that you mix it very well and don't do what we did. Start painting when it's light out because it will cost you if you do what we did. So yeah, I think it was 175 per can, and we used 2 cans and had maybe a mason jars of leftover, which we did save and intended to paint that little strip up there, but life happens.
Uh-oh. Didn't think that one through, did you?
Nope.
So it's been about 4 years now since we started our build, and I think about 3 since we actually got around to painting it. And in that time, we've definitely gotten a little bit of wear and tear. We got some here and like around the light fixtures and stuff like that. Points that we didn't sand well enough are starting to flake as well. The front, believe it or not, used to be blue, and we just spray painted right over it. We sanded it down as well as we could and hit it with some gray spray paint that happened to look exactly like the stuff in the back. And I think it works really, really well. It's not cracking, it's not having any issues whatsoever. It's probably holding up better than any of the other paint, which is such a surprise. Our goals with the paint were to keep it as stealthy as possible. While the solar panels and stuff definitely give us away, I think we were pretty successful. We actually blend in pretty well in like dark parking lots and stuff because we're basically asphalt colored.
And something we didn't think about, but that this paint does really well, is not shine light back towards people, like if they're coming towards us with their headlights or anything like that, which has been really nice when we're trying to camp somewhere we're not really supposed to be at.
Another thing is this stuff is incredibly durable. So we've run into trees and stuff when we're trying to find a good tight parking spot at like a hiking trail, and it doesn't even scratch the paint. Like it's super, super durable.
That did present some cons now that we've been living in it for a while, because we did decide to go with climbing rocks on the side just as a fun interactive way to get to the roof to access our solar panels and our Starlink and our Max Air fan. But it also means that if you're not careful going up the rock wall, you will get scratched. So don't sue us.
Please don't climb on the wall without our permission.
And call 911 if you need help. We can help you.
So that is our story with painting the ambulance. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, feel free to leave them in the comments. We'll see you next time. Killa out. Have a killa day. We're working on a tagline.
That's funny. Knockout.
Oh, I knew it! I knew it!
Oh God. No. We finished sanding. Now it's time to paint. But first, we gotta wash.